Good morning. Today it is for the third time I am going to take your online class, and today I will discuss an important chapter from the board book English for Today. Unit 3 Lesson 3. The main subject matter or the cardinal subject matter of this passage is race discrimination. You know that very well that in the whole world discrimination is always available. The discrimination can be found according to religion, according to the color of skin and such kind of components or elements. But this kind of discrimination is not expected at all from us, because in the modern world all types of men and should be lived very equally and spontaneously and live comfortably without any kind of hesitation and discrimination. The speaker or the narrator of this passage is Martin King Luther. Here I have noted Unit 3 Lesson 3 for you. I have selected this chapter for you so that I can make you understand the main theme of this subject, the main theme of this passage. The subject or main theme of the passage should be learned by you very attentively and very proficiently. First of all, you will read the passage from beginning to the end. Then you will understand what type of passage it is. I want to mention here that it's a problematic passage. In all the parts, in all the words and sentences of this passage, you will find the speaker's wrath or anger or protest against race discrimination. Race discrimination is like a very heinous crime, and race discrimination should be turned down by us all. Here you will see the Negro is still not free. It indicates or it implies that the Negroes are, or the black people are, in a very miserable condition in the whole world. Particularly, this passage says something about it. The Negro is still not free. That means they are not liberated. The life of the Negro is still crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. The Negro people or the black people are always neglected for their color of skin. This is one kind of discrimination. This is called race discrimination. Racial discrimination is well known to all, and it should be turned down, it should be abdicated by us all. And people should be treated, people should be behaved very comfortably, very equally, not by their color of skin or not by their level or not by their status or not by their social identity. The life of the Negro is still crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. The Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty in the midst of a vast ocean of material prosperity. While we are living in the modern world and we are improving day by day in the spheres of science and technology, in all spheres the whole world is developing, and it is indeed or in fact the victory of the whole world, the victory of the humanity. But during this situation, the Negro are still in a very miserable condition. It's a matter of great regret for us. The Negro is still languishing in the corners of American society and finds himself an exile in his own land. So what do you understand by this line? This line also expresses the same type of attitude of the speaker or the narrator. The narrator here is always speaking about the problems of the black people. So we have come here today to dramatize the shameful condition. So what is the shameful condition? Shameful condition, meaning situation, all of these words are always used by the speaker only to make us understand in what way the black people are oppressed, they are tortured, they are neglected in the whole world, particularly in the American society, because this unit 3 lesson 3 is always is always expressing the miserable condition of the black people. As a result, you will have to first read the passage and you will have to first understand that this passage always indicates, always implies the problems of the black people. In the next stanza, I say to you today, my friends, so even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It's a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. Here I want to add that everybody contains or possesses a dream within his or her mind. The topic of the passage, entire passage is I have a dream. So what is the dream of the speaker or the narrator who has written this passage? And this passage is indeed the important speech of the speaker. In this way, he has begun this passage by expressing his protest against race discrimination. The word race discrimination is the main subject matter, main theme of the passage. Here, the dream of the speaker is that he always dreams that one day this word will be available, this word will be always equal for all types of people. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of the creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. In this way, we can understand that people of the whole world are equal and they are created by the creator of this world or universe for their own reason. There is always difficulties or complexities in the world that some people are always neglected, they are tortured, they are oppressed only for some putrid meanings, only for some putrid or trivial reasons. But this kind of attitude is always unexpected and should not be expected by anybody. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. Here lies the real meaning of this passage. Here lies the real subject matter of the passage. Brotherhood. Brotherhood is always opponent to race discrimination. Discrimination should be turned down. Discrimination should be abdicated by all, and brotherhood should be welcomed by all, because God has created this world according to His own image. This is not the speech of myself, rather a prominent poet of English literature has made this comment that God has created this world according to His own image, and He has created all the human person, all the human being in this world equally. I have a dream that one day even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transferred into an oasis of freedom and justice. Freedom and justice should be established. This is the main idea of this passage. And if we, and if all the human beings want to establish freedom and justice, then oppression, discrimination, negligence and all kinds of inequality should be removed from our society, from our world and from the entire world. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin but by the content of their character. This line indicates the same type of attitude, that the speaker has a dream. The speaker contains a dream. What is the dream? The dream is only one, that race discrimination should be removed from our society, race discrimination should be abnegated from our society, so that all the human beings can live in this world without any discrimination, without any oppression. Because all of the human beings are equal in this world and God wants to see so. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day down in Alabama with its vicious racists, race discrimination is always propelled or continued by the racists. With us, governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification, that one day right down in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. So, I have already completed, I have already finished the first part of this lesson, because I have also divided my today's lesson into 2 equal parts. One is consisted of the discussion of Unit 3, Lesson 3, and it is an important part of English first paper. And I think that you have correctly, you have proficiently understood all the sentences and words I have already uttered. Now you will come to know about another important chapter of English, but this chapter will be included from the English second paper, that is the discussion of degree. I am going to efface these lines because I have completed or finished this lesson from rudiment or beginning to the middle part, and in my next class I will again discuss the rest part of this passage, and you will be able to understand the real idea, the main theme, the cardinal subject matter, and all of the important components of this passage. Dear students, I want to mention here that in most of the time I will try to make the discussion into two equal parts by dividing the whole span of my class time into two parts, because I have a great responsibility to complete all the subject matters that has been given by the authority to discuss in the online classes. For this reason, now I will discuss about degree. English second paper. Part of transformation. Part of transformation. All of you know that there are three kinds of degree in English. One is positive degree, another is comparative degree, and in the last part superlative degree. Positive degree. Positive degree. Comparative degree. Comparative degree, and in the third part superlative degree. Superlative degree. You will have to learn the types of degree with utmost importance, because it is an essential part of our syllabus. It is a part of transformation. First of all, I will make you understand in what way superlative degree can be transferred into comparative degree, and in the reverse way comparative degree can also be transferred into superlative degree by using the same structure. Superlative degree. This kind of sentence is always started with subject. Then in the second part you will find auxiliary verb or helping verb. Auxiliary verb used as principal verb. Used as principal verb. In the third part you will find the as the obligatory part or essential part of the sentence. After that, adjective added est. Added est or having most. In the next part object, and in the last part extension if any. Now I will make you understand in what way you will be able to transfer this superlative degree into comparative degree. Comparative degree. subjective case will remain unchanged. Then verb will be placed. Here or more. Then any other. And at last objective case and extension if any. Extension if any. This is the important structure of our degree and its comparison and its classification. Now I will write an example to make you understand in what way this kind of structure can be applied to make the solution of the question or to make the answer of the question. Superlative degree, first subject, then auxiliary verb used as principal verb. They will have to be used. Adjective case. Adjective case will be added with est or having most. This is the salient feature or main characteristic of superlative degree. After that you will find object and at last extension. Then comparative degree will have to be written by writing subject, and this subject will be remain unchanged if you make a comparison with the superlative degree. After that you will have to write verb. est will be transferred into er and most will be transferred into more. Then any other. This is the part of our structure. When you will try to transfer the superlative degree into comparative one, you will have to write then any other. In the next part you will write object and at last extension if any. Now for your good understanding I am going to efface this sentence and I am going to give you an example for your better understanding. Tomal is the tallest boy. Tallest boy of our class. Now make a scrutiny on this sentence. First of all, the subject is placed here, Tomal, then verb. The as the part of superlative degree. Next, superlative form. Superlative form. est indicates superlative form. In the next part, object, and at last extension. Now apply the structure that I have already written and I have already effaced from this whiteboard. Superlative, here comparative. Tomal, subject remain unchanged, is. Tallest will be transferred into taller. Then I will write then any other. In the next part, I will write the objective case. The objective case will have to be placed in this way without making any change. And at last, you will have to write the extension or extra part of the sentence. Now I think that I have already explained the way of transferring the sentence from superlative to comparative degree. Superlative sentence, superlative degree containing sentence is started with subject. Then verb, in the third part the, in the next part superlative form, and in the next part you will find objective case. In the last part you will have to find the extension. This is the way I have transferred the superlative degree into comparative degree. But if you think this structure in the reverse way, you will also find another structure in what way comparative degree can be transferred into superlative degree. Now I am going to explain the structure in what way superlative degree can be transferred into positive degree. So write the same structure, superlative degree. Subject, verb. In the third part, the est or most. Then objective case, and at last extension. Extension if any. Now I am going to write down the structure of the positive degree. Positive degree. First of all, you will have to write no other. Then object. Here look at the object. This object will have to be transferred into second part of the positive degree. After that you will have to write extension if any. In the next part you will write the verb as. Superlative degree will have to be written in the positive form. Positive form. By effacing est or most. If you efface the word est or most, if you efface the part est or most from the adjective case, then you will have to write the positive form. As and at last subject. This structure is sufficient to transfer the superlative degree into positive one. Now an example from this structure I am going to write. Tamal is the most active boy in the class. In the class. This is an example of superlative degree. And if you want to transfer it into positive degree, you will have to write no other boy in the class. No other boy in the class. In the class is as active as Tom. Now, if you compare this example with the structure I have already written and I have already effaced from this whiteboard, you will find a great congruity, you will find the similarity between these two parts. In the last part, I will try to show the transformation from comparative to positive degree. Comparative. Subject, verb, or more. Then and at last object. This kind of sentence, including comparative degree, will have to be transferred into positive degree by writing objective case will be transferred into subjective case. So this part of the sentence will be placed into the starting or beginning of your answer. That means positive degree. Verb, not as. And at last, subject. Raihan is taller than Ram. Now make a comparison of this example with the structure. Subjective case will be placed in the rudiment of your comparative degree. Look at the subject. Then verb will have to be written is. ER or more indicates the salient feature of comparative degree, taller. Then obligatory and at last objective case. Now I will transfer it into positive degree by applying this structure. Object will be transferred into subject by writing in the first part, in the very beginning of your positive degree. Rana is not as. Taller will be transferred into tall as right. I think this discussion is sufficient to make you understand the transferring from comparative to positive degree and positive to comparative degree. And today I will discuss only one more structure because I have a very short span of time. Now look at another example and another structure. Comparative degree having or including than most other. Subject ER or more. I have mentioned for several times that this kind of ER or more always the indication to the comparative degree. Then most other and at last offset. Positive, very few. Then offset. After that verb as. Positive degree. As and at last subject. Now look at the example I am going to write for you. The lion is stronger than most other animals. Make a comparison. Subject the lion, then verb is ER or more, the indication to comparative degree. Here is stronger. Then most other is always an important part or essential part of comparative degree. Then most other and at last offset. If you want to transfer into positive degree, you will have to write first very few. Very few. After that objective case will be placed. Our object is animals. Each will be transferred into R. S. Stronger will have to be written by effacing ER, then this word will be transferred into strong. This is indicating positive degree. As and at last the line. So dear students, I think this kind of discussion is sufficient for you so that you can understand the transferring of three kinds of degree. And I have already discussed in the starting of my class about Unit 3, Lesson 3. And these two important parts have been discussed for you today. One is from first paper and other is from second paper. In my next class, I will discuss more and more important parts from our syllabus. And no more today. Goodbye. Take care.